Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews. I'm your host, Spease, and today we are looking at A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, released in 1985. A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 stars Mark Patton, Kim Myers, Robert Rusler, Gulager, Lange, Marshall Bell, Melinda, Tom McFadden, Sidney Walsh, Robert Englund, Christie and Lyman Ward. The film is directed by Jack Shoulder. Now, in this film, a new family move into the house that Nancy Thompson was living at, and the boy of the family, Jesse, played by Mark Patton, begins to have nightmares with Freddy, and Freddy wants to possess him so that he can continue his rampage. Now, this film has been christened in more recent years the gayest slasher film of all time. A lot of people consider this film the worst film in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. I'm going to be honest, I have never saw that about this film. Even when I watched it more recently. Does this film have an awkward performance by its lead, Mark Patton? Yes, it does. Does this film have a scene in which Marshall Bell's Coach Schneider is seen in a gay bar? Yes, it does. But to me, that's the only thing I see in this film that hint to me that this has any gay undertones to it at all. I think that's an unfair criticism this film has gotten in the recent years. And most of it is just because Mark Patton has come out since this film was released and said that he was gay. Doesn't mean Jack Shoulder directed this film and tried to make it the gayest slasher film of all time. He didn't. And most of the performances in this are pretty damn good. You got Kim Myers as Lisa Weber. You got Robert Rusler as Ron Grady. Gulager as Jesse's father, Ken Walsh. You have Hope Lange, freaking legendary actress, playing his mother, Cheryl. No, you even have freaking Christie, pre Days of Our Lives fame, and even before she played in Children of the Corn 2, playing his little sister in this. And Sidney Walsh playing Lisa's best friend, Carrie. So, I mean, it's got great performances in it. And now, Wes Craven came out after this film was released and said that he didn't like this film, and he thought there's two things he didn't like about this film. One, it was a bad decision to make the lead Jesse. He thought it would have been much better to make the lead of this story Kim Myers' character of Lisa Weber. And I agree with him on that. I think Kim Myers was amazing in this film. I think she's one of the best parts of this film, and more Kim Myers as Lisa in this film would have made it better. So I agree with him on that. But he also said that the scene in which Robert Englund's Freddy Krueger massacres all the kids in the real world by the pool was silly and unrealistic and goofy. Sorry, Wes. I don't agree with that. I think that is one of the strongest scenes by Robert Englund's Freddy Krueger ever in the film's series history. I mean, he was totally badass in that sequence. And I never once looked at it just because, hey, he's a little guy that, against these bigger jock kids from school or something, that it's freaking Freddy Krueger. He's got a claw in his hand, and he can. I never looked at that and said, hey, that looks ridiculous. That's stupid. Why don't they just fight him and kick his ass, And most of that was because Robert Englund's performance in this thing is his strongest ever, I think, in any of the films, hardly. There is one other, and I will get to that one in my future reviews and everything, that I think Robert Englund might have been stronger as Freddy. But as far as strong and, badass performances as the character, and he's dark in this. He's not the comical, character that we got later in the later films. He's even more dark and scary and sinister than he was in the first film. So, and the thing is, the producers didn't even want to pay Robert Englund to come back. They thought, well, these other films, Halloween and Friday the 13th, they can get away with, replacing their killer with just some other actor. So, we don't need Robert Englund in this thing. We can, just cast some stunt man to play the part and save money. And they did that. In fact, that stuntman is still in the film, in the scene in which Freddy attacks Coach Schneider in the shower. That's not Robert Englund in that scene. So it was then that they went back to Robert Englund and got him to reprise his role. Wow. That's just silly that they even thought of that, considering how good Robert Englund was in A Nightmare on Elm Street. And in this one, God, he steps it up even better. He is as dark as he's ever been, like I said, and this is one of the best performances by Robert Englund as the character, as far as being just dark. And he's still got some one-liners in there, but they are more serious one-liners, not the goofy, crazy, comical shit that comes later in the later films. And the special effects, I think, are superior in this film to the original film. The special effects in this film are pretty damned amazing. I never once watched this film and thought those special effects were as bad as the effects have become dated in the original film. And, like I said, the performances, yes, Mark Patton gives one of the worst performances in this film. But the rest of the film, Kim Myers is great. Robert Rusler is good. Jesse Walsh's family, like I said, Gulager, Hope Lange, and Christie are all strong. And the scenes they are in, they play really well. Marshall Bell, even though he's got one of the most awkward ass scenes in this film, which is the gay bar scene, and of course having to stand there before he gets killed, being bare ass naked and getting slashed and killed. You know, I mean, but he gives a performance. He makes you hate him, which is what you want from a character like this. And Sydney Walsh, like I said, she's cute. She's adorable as the best friend to Lisa. So her and Lisa just do not get enough screen time in this film. If they had, I agree. That's where I agree with Wes, though, in that if she would have been the main character and Mark Patton's Jesse had just been a secondary character supporting, it wouldn't have been as bad because of his performance. But when you put him as the lead and the whole movie centers around him and his performance, having to hold everything together, it really hurts the film. But unlike a lot of these other people, I don't never look at this film and think of any gay undertones. Hell, I have a harder time watching The Lost Boys and the gay undertones in that than watching this. I've never caught those. And in more recent times, when I watched it, I never saw that. I never felt that. So, but my review of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, I give this film a 7.5 out of 10. Yes, Mark Patton's performance, his awkward performance in this film, it does hurt the film. And it's brought down because of that. But the strong rest of the cast, and including one of the strongest Freddy Krueger performances by Robert Englund, I mean, I don't consider this film the worst Nightmare on Elm Street film ever made. That will go later on in these films. But what do you guys think? What do you think of A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge? Do you agree with my rating of this? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. And as usual, if you like this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, because it really does help this channel out a lot. And we're still not done with the 80s, 90s reviews. So I hope if you're enjoying these, I hope you will stick with me and stay with me on these. And I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.